We're still going live, and we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram simulcast. And I want to introduce you to my good friend Oliver Lynch, and he is been getting into the Mucusless diets where he's been fasting. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and he's also into a number of different things, especially in the area of self-development and getting over social anxiety, learning how to release, and mental health and that kind of thing. So yeah, why don't you elaborate a little bit, introduce yourself to the Mucus-free family here.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome, Spira. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. Very blessed and grateful on this wonderful, I don't know, did we figure out, was it a Sunday today? I'm not quite sure.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. So kind of in a time warp right now, but it's good to be here. Good friend of this guy's awesome right here. I'm sure if you're watching this, you already know that. But yeah, my name is Oliver Lynch. I've been in the world of self-development for many years, and I've been into, the health space as well. But have really started into the mucusless diet recently, thanks to this guy. And it's been huge so far. I'm literally on a juice cleanse right now on day 2, and I'm feeling on top of the world. I'm feeling electric. It feels amazing. So super grateful for all the wonderful knowledge, of course, from Ehret and Spira, to get me, motivated to do that. But, a little bit about, me particularly. I am a social anxiety coach. So I'm a coach that helps people overcome social anxiety, and really live a life full of freedom and confidence, and to get the social life that you want. So that's kind of my thing. But yeah, I think we're doing a little bit of a case study. Is that what you're?
Yeah. And I was actually, I wonder, do you have those images or those videos of you before?
I got them on my phone, so maybe I could hold it up to the camera.
I forget where I saw them at. It was if it was on your Facebook or something, but they were like super. So he, like, I don't know how many years ago it was, but you probably put it like you wouldn't have been able to sit here and talk probably live.
Oh, no way.
He had a total transformation that you can see.
I'll show you right now. Check it out.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that. So that right there is a picture of me and my mom back when I was incredibly socially anxious. I couldn't even look at the camera for a picture, and I just hated life. It was, I don't know if you can hear me, but it was freaking awful. And you can see it on Instagram Live as well. That's me looking just absolutely not in the best. And I was obviously when I was eating tons of mucus-forming, pus-forming foods, and just full of that toxic negativity. So it's been quite the transformation, and I'm definitely fucking grateful to be here.
Kendrick, we just
hey, what's up? Welcome, Kendrick, bro. Good to see you, man.
we just talk about you.
Hope you're doing well, man.
Earlier. Yeah, man. And what's going on here? But yeah, there was and then there was a video I saw that was real impressive where I think you were trying to, like, you had to do a public talk or something, or it was like high school, or I think you were doing and you were just not enjoying yourself at all. Like,
yeah, that was I was a soccer banquet. I did soccer in high school, and they would always have us like present as like seniors, like do a quick little talk. And I was just like shaking. I was so nervous. I was like, couldn't even make eye contact with the crowd. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. I see eating mucus-free all day. Love to hear that, man.
Yeah,
and, got some people blowing up the comment section. That's good to see. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah. So this is you said day 2 of a juice fast, and just getting into the juice fast, and talk a little bit about your experience. How's it been feeling? How you been feeling?
I've been feeling great. To be honest, like going into it, I was a little bit nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. I've never done a juice. I've done a regular fast, but never a juice cleanse. And yeah, I've just known I've got definitely some mucoid plaque like up in here in my gut. It's just been painful. And I know I've needed this for a long time. But day 2, I feel really good. Like I feel like my energy, I feel like my blood is finally flowing in my face. It's a weird feeling, but it's incredible. Like I feel so alive, so energetic. It's great, man.
Yeah, and it warmed up a little bit, so we just had a little walk. We walked for about a little 30-40 minutes or so, and back in the woods, or not the woods, it was a park. But yeah, and so that is, he's starting to really get in to see the benefits of when you get this slime out of your life, and you really let go of it's a transformation. And so we're in the transformation business on all levels. It's all about transformation. Just every day you working toward the next transformation and, you know, cleaning yourself up, getting yourself together. Now, so let's talk about that spot though. So you said there's a place where you sort of have some pain, a little concentrated, little spot.
Yeah, definitely. There was like this, it felt like literally before we started the live stream, I felt it kind of just like move a little bit, and it felt like a little contraction, almost like I'm pregnant or something. And then it just kind of hurt for a little bit, but then it was kind of gone. And I've been feeling that pain in that area, like especially after a day of eating normal food, like it just hurts and it doesn't feel natural at all.
Yeah. And so I'll ask the folks that are out here, just looking at Oliver, what type of physiology does he have, or what type of physiology would Ehret categorize, and how was that inform what you might recommend to somebody or yourself if you are that type of physiology and you're early on and starting a fast? I'm gonna let you guys say in the comments. I want to hear the response. What type of physiology? So he's slender, as you can see, and so there's a particular kind of physiology. There we go. That's it. Lean. Ehret calls it lean physiology. We kind of have a vernacular version of it that evolved, uric acid type. And so the two types of physiologies, you have lean physiologies, and those are the people that generally can eat whatever they want and they don't pick up weight easy. In those cases, there's more chemical interference. There's more acids that are causing problems and issues in the body. With the mucus type, those are folks that can eat, just look at food and they pick up some weight, you know. So it's just the different way that the body processes pus and mucus forming foods. So in his case, he's starting off, he's got a little juice fast going, and he's feeling some pain in his intestines in a particular spot. Now, the first thing I was like, okay, well, what, you get into the enemas yet? He's like, I'm about to. And so that's like the first, you know, that first thing you want to, you know, get the enemas, you know, it's time to get him baptized. And in the comments, y'all can say Oliver's about to get christened is what he said. Yeah. It's about to get the, you know, baptized with water, you know, and that's the real baptism. And, but so when you do that, and because the thing is, you know, people go through that and they'll start thinking it's like, oh, this is my appendix, all that, you know, in your mind, you want to, part of this path is to be calm and know that the body heals itself. It's like, we're not taking things to heal. The benefit of the juice fast is to give your body a break and an opportunity to cleanse itself out. And so what you want to do is to not get scared and not sort of jump to conclusions, because then you start going online and reading. And like I said, you can read on WebMD and they'll tell you you got everything, and all it might be is just a thing of slime, and it might just be that, just a little bit of slime. And I always have to do a picture of mucoid plaque.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring it up.
So freaking nasty. I would imagine that this stuff is definitely in my body, and it's kind of terrifying to realize that. Especially when you look at these images, like, God, it's so gross. I'm sure he's going to do a screen share, but oh man.
Yeah. The Instagram folks, y'all ain't going to see it.
Trigger warning. This is this is not the best. It's it's kind of a trip to realize this is actually in my body. But I'm also incredibly grateful that at least I know about it so I can do something about it. Cause God damn, gross.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like people got so much complaining about, oh, my back hurts and I got a headache and this and that and this and that. But then when you suggest, well, let's do some enemas, let's fast a little bit, let's eat slime-free foods and see if we can get this out of there, then they're like, oh no, I can't do that. That's so unnatural. It's like, more unnatural than this. then this slime here, this is how we do this. I can turn around. Let's see.
There you go. Yeah. So you thought you were safe. You thought you were safe from the
Yeah, you thought you guys was about to get out of it. Like, nope.
It looks like Brother Air's turning in as well. Looks like get on my back and let's go over the gold line.
Well, what he said? What he said?
You see that the comment right up there on the feed, Brother Air, up top.
Oh yeah, what's up, Brother Air? Get on my back and let's go over the goal line. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. This is work. You know, doing
looks like got some questions on work here or something. 19,
let's see.
Never done.
So what if it hurts a bit to do an enema, then after I feel a bit down, my digestive system is super sensitive. So, you know, in those cases, you want to take it easy. You don't have to use a whole lot of lemon juice. You don't have to use as much liquid. So I tend to, and this is a good thing to bring up, like between me and Brother Air, where, you know, I use generally in my enemas, I'll use a little more liquid. Like I'll fill up the enema bag. You know, Brother Air, he just has enough liquid in there just to get a good irrigation. You know, it's not like totally full. And so if you're a more petite person and you're a little smaller, then you don't need to necessarily put a whole bunch of liquid up there every time. You know, just get that irrigation just to kind of get the stuff moving. But you know, if you do that, if you make the adjustments and it still hurts, then you got to either do it less, or, you know, don't keep doing it if it hurts like that. But I would say just use less liquid, and until and even if for a while you have to do the baby, you know, the enema bulb, you know, I mean, that's just literally like a colon irrigation. You just do a little bit of that baby bulb. I mean, that's better than nothing, depending on what you're going through. But yeah, you know, you kind of got to work yourself through. And yeah, Nicholas says it takes years to get out some of the nastiness. That's what we're saying. We trying to let y'all know that this is the real work. You know, this is the work that we have to do. And
I see Facebook users saying, yes, you'll be shocked at how much is in there too. Yeah, I don't know if I'm excited or terrified. I can't figure that out. But yeah, what's up, Nubios? Looks like, what's up, man? Welcome. Oh, woman, sorry.
Yeah, Rachel saying I need to get back to the enemas.
Yeah, got to.
It's like the great equalizer. You know, it's the great game changer, because for all that we've done that's just so unnatural and just so defiling our bodies with so much waste, it's like it's a great tool that we have at our disposal to be able to you know, have the
release
opportunity to release, you know. And so, and when you're fasting, when you do the juice cleanse or juice fast, you know, you give your body a chance to take a break from that hard digesting all the time that takes up so much energy. You know, gives you the chance to take a break.
Yeah, it definitely feels kind of karmic in terms of, like, you know, the effect you'll have when you eat eat bad foods. Like, you don't just get to walk away from that with nothing. It kind of seems like that. Like, this mucoid plaque seems to be like the karmic equivalent of like what you get, you know. And it's definitely cause and effect, you know.
The effect is this slime, and so it kind of,
oh my god,
it gives us a visual, you know, the kind of the repudiation, but it's really it's the tip of the iceberg, you know. Once this is the stuff here.
Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Fuck. Oh, that's hard to look at.
Yeah, that's more along the lines of some of that stuff that I got out when I talk about the black tar stuff. You know, I mean,
it's funny, Rachel, reaping a harvest of slime.
Yeah, yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's
the long goodbye.
And that still gets. Now, somebody asked.
I feel like I'm gonna feel like I'm floating off the ground once I get the stuff out of me. I feel like I'm gonna feel so light.
Yeah, and it takes more than just one enema. You have the effect of doing them over time. That's really the benefit. Really what you want.
So
is to do multiple ones over time, and then that's where you really start to get the real benefit.
So Spira, would you like, in terms of doing multiple enemas, like for me, like I'm doing this 3-day juice cleanse, like I'm gonna do one at the end of it, but do I do another one? Do I only do them during fasts and cleanses, or how does that work?
So what I recommend, some people like Brother Air and myself at different points will do lemon juice and distilled water enemas every day, just like you would brush your teeth. So it's controversial. Some people are like, oh, that's way too much. We always have a natural bowel movement first. I always, if you're not having natural bowel movements, then there's a little different methodology you want to use. But with me, I always have a natural bowel movement first and then do my enema. Now, some people do more of their enemas while they are, while they're during the fasting. That's the one thing Ehret really recommends is when you're fasting, you want to be doing the colon irrigation in the enemas, because as you fast, your body is starting to squeeze out that toxic stuff. You want to get it moving, because if it doesn't, and I know that there are fasting teachers and stuff that don't, they teach like to not do enemas, and you might get away with it, but man, I mean, you can take it to just the next level in terms of just clearing out that waste, clear the colon out. It makes all the sense in the world.
Something kind of intense about this whole thing, but also like I was kind of nervous before my juice cleanse, but it's been fine so far. Like it's been really chill. It's been really good. But I feel like this enema thing is gonna like, what kind of mindset would you give people watching right now who are new to enemas? Like, what would you kind of help them process it or take it with a good mindset, because I think it can be kind of intimidating for people who are new to this kind of stuff like myself.
Just, that's a good question, because I come at it from that standpoint of first, it's just, we've done, all those pictures that I was showing, we've done such a terrible job at life that we've just encumbered ourselves with this slime and this waste, and we need help. We need more than just, we need, more than just a couple salads and that kind of stuff. I mean, we really need to get in there, because as long as you still have this slime and the poisonous waste in you, you'll still have those cravings. And so those old meat cravings start to come back. Those, the dairy, all that stuff starts to come back. But once you get the poisons out, which just takes time, once you really get that stuff out of you, then those cravings go away forever. I mean, they just don't come back. You'll have new cravings for other stuff. You might have cravings for more plant-based mucus kind of things, but not the worst stuff. So that's one angle. Another angle is just, how bad do you want to cleanse and heal yourself? How bad do you want to be here? Do you want to slow the aging process? You want to get over some kind of ailment that you've accepted. There's a lot of things that people accept as if there's nothing that they can do, that they're just gonna, I got headaches every day, I blow my nose all the time, and blah, blah, blah. People just accept it. But what if you could do something that would reverse that would allow you to overcome those ailments, allow you to feel better? So a little lemon juice in your rear end to clear yourself out, get that, promote that oxygen, good oxygen up in there. It's a lifesaver. I mean, so if they had that consciousness in hospitals, if only, they had that level of awareness, They got all this incredibly expensive
equipment. Oh my God. I used to work in a hospital. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And when the most important thing that they could have would be like a colonic system or an enema system in every room, juicers and fresh produce that could be grown on the premises. But now we're talking real out there to think that you would ban fast food. First of all, ban meat and dairy in a hospital and grow produce on the premises. Organic produce.
What a horrible thing, Spira. How could you do that? What kind of sick-minded individual would grow lettuce in my place of care?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's to me. I mean, it's hard. It's so rational. It's hard to me that it doesn't exist yet. That should be like, you guys didn't put that together yet. That the least, we don't got money. Y'all the ones that have billions of dollars that you put into all this stuff. But the one thing that would help people, I mean, all that money you could take a fraction of that money. Every hospital in the country,
tiny fraction,
could have its own little gardens and even the indoor hydroponic. I mean, be easy to do that. And then the next level, then you start talking about the Earthship hospitals, and then we lose everybody at that point. but just the basic, just to convert what we already have into something that would actually help people, and heal people. I
mean, I think that's kind of, the work you're doing here, from my perspective, is kind of just like changing that whole paradigm, and everybody who's tuning in, and, we're grateful to have you. Thank you for coming. The insanity of humanity, perfectly put. When you actually look around at society around you, most people are in their own neurosis. They're, it's kind of insane, this, the energy that's around, because most people are living in a state of fear. Most people living in a state of like sadness and anger, and they're at war, and they're always, it's like us versus them. It's like blue versus red, When in reality, when we can kind of like find that, that, I think that that pureness inside of you, you can find your center and what's true for you. You realize that all of that stuff is just kind of an illusion. In reality, like, there's no reason we can't all be living healthy, positive, and work with each other in a healthy way, not always being, us versus them. I think when we can start to really wake up as a society from all of this insanity, like, I think tremendous things can happen on Earth. Like, when you get a whole group of people working together, all of our brain power and our potential, human potential, multiplies. Like when we have 32 of you, like 32 of you here right now, we're all on the same wavelength. We're all like, adding to this vibration. That's very powerful, because it's more than just, me, myself as Oliver Lynch, or, Professor Spira as individuals could do. So once again, I think, just even you tuning into this right now is changing, one tiny increment at a time, is changing the destiny of Earth. So, maybe that's a bit melodramatic, but I just think it's incredibly powerful.
Well, I mean, that's like I say, we're going to transform this planet one bite at a time, one enema at a time, one apple at a time, one grape at a time.
One grape at a time.
One glass of juice at a time. That's how it happens, and it's happening now. The transition is on. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to realize, like, wait a minute. What you want me to do is to take some poison, put it in my vein, and it still might not protect me. That's what you want me to do. You want me to take this poison, and it's like people are there, and of course there's a lot of people that go down that road, but there's more and more people that are saying, nah, I don't think so. I think I'm good on that. And so that the consciousness, it has to, and as we grow, it's infectious. The other people, that's the real let's infect people with some wisdom and consciousness, because it starts to grow, because people start, wait a minute, it gotta make sense. It looks like they're over there having fun not looking up, like not aging as fast. Like, what's that about? Let's go see that.
Yeah.
And but it takes everybody just getting started. And so I encourage everybody, if you haven't checked it out, Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Ehret. We sell all the different books, stuff that was previously not available. And you want to check them all out because there's nuggets of real profound stuff in each one of Ehret's books. I got a book that has a bunch of case studies. It's the Spira Speaks, where we get into real stories of what people going through in the beginning of starting the transition, later on social issues, the social troubles. When you start going down this path, you got to be really strong and know how to release. Is something that we've been talking about when it comes to dealing with confront your family members or loved ones, or how do you deal with that can cause a lot of people anxiety to reject and say, no, I don't want that. No, I'm good. No, thank you. I don't need that burger right now. I'm eating this salad. That can be hard for some people. And so I encourage you to really do that work, go down this path and do this work on yourself. Cause it's what we're, like we say, what else is there? We know what's down the other path. Mm-hmm. We know what's down that. I mean, we've seen it over and over again, that pus and mucus path. We see where it goes. It usually doesn't end very well, but we know less about this path. And so I would rather take the path less traveled and see, because at least there's a chance. Mm-hmm. There's a chance at a different level of transformation that we're not, that people don't think is possible. But we've seen the people that's in here. We were just talking about this earlier, like the level of healing that happens, and the healing from so-called incurable illnesses that happens routinely for us. It's not miraculous like anymore. It's like we see it all the time, but but people still don't think it's real. They still don't think that it's possible, or they're fed up on the lies of the ignorant. It's like they're like ignorant people that lie themselves. I mean, you're getting like double lie. But for me, it's for those that can hear the message, that can get it. It's time.
It's time. Yeah,
definitely time.
I see Rachel Ann saying, get the book. Everybody go get that. If you want to show it one more time, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mucusless.
Well, it's over.
Oh yeah.
But they know.
They know it. Yeah. And it's like, I see Evolving Brianna. Yes, it takes courage to break free from that, but so much reward have to be the way showers. So I'm kind of curious, the people, the 40 of you who are watching right now, type yes in the comments if you feel like you still kind of struggle to deal with people who don't understand, the mucusless diet and the decisions you want to make. Like, you run into people who are judgmental. Like, type a yes in the comments if you feel like you still struggle with that. I'm kind of curious for those of you who are watching.
Yeah. I think there's like a 15-second delay or something. So we'll see.
We got a 15-second delay. So it sounds like we're going to have to just let it simmer for a second. And yes, we just got yes, always from Rachel Ann. Got it. Another yes, be darkness. I would love to, give it a few more seconds to let everybody else answer if you feel so inclined to. But yeah, so one more time, type apps, or just type yes again if you would be open to learning some techniques on how you could kind of deal with those people in a way where it didn't bother you, didn't get you down, it didn't lower your vibration. So if you want to kind of overcome that and learn some stuff, type yes in the comments right now once again. And I'll give it a couple of seconds. We got a yes. We got yes with a lot of exclamation marks from Monique. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. That's great. Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna, I'd love to share, if that's all right with you, Spira. I'd love to share some stuff for the people.
Yeah.
Truly, yeah, because I always like to start with mindset when it comes to this stuff. Now, who am I? First of all, I am a social anxiety coach. I've been a coach for many years. I specialize in helping people, overcome the fear of judgment from others. So incredibly related to this stuff. And there's some really important stuff that I could teach you really quick that could really change your life. First of all, being that, if somebody is judging you about, the mucusless diet and your health choices, and you feel triggered on the inside, like you feel this reaction to them, what that really is they're triggering some sort of internal block or internal limiting belief inside of you. So it's so easy to get angry at people who don't understand and who are rude to us because it's not fair to you. It's not fair at all. But if you're getting triggered internally, that actually means to look inwards and realize that's something inside of you. Now, what do we do once we have that awareness that there's something inside of us being triggered that we don't necessarily like? Well, what most people do in society is they kind of just ignore it or try to push it away, or like, I don't want to feel that. And they just suppress it. They don't feel it. Now, I am more on the contrary. And the stuff that I teach people is to be free from that, right? So you don't ever get triggered again. And the way you do that is by releasing that negative energy, right? Is by letting it go permanently so that you never are affected by those people again. Because when you really take full responsibility for your life and you realize that the way you feel in your emotional state is always your responsibility, what you realize is that, and you take full responsibility and you become absolutely free from the opinions of others, and you never have to worry what another, ignorant person says about your life choices, right? Because they will, you can't stop them from saying that, right? Like, your family member or your friend, right? Like you can't control them. They're going to say what they're going to say, but what you can control is how you handle it internally. Right. So really that's going to be about releasing. And I highly recommend just, digging more into that stuff. And if you're interested, you can follow me on Instagram. My name is Oliver_Lynch_. If you'd mind typing in the,
yeah. And that's, and it's also in the comment or the description section.
Yeah. So once again, if you have any questions on, how to really put that into practice, DM me. I'm more than happy to just, help you out and answer any of your questions. But yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Spira. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I used to be the type that was so like I remember I actually was a vegetarian for a little while in like middle school. So a long time ago. Like I remember just getting constant judgment, that's different from mucusless diet. That's like one step closer, but yeah, I remember getting judged by people thinking I'm a weird, people thinking I'm a pussy, like all of these, these derogatory things and all these negative conceptions. And I remember just being really kind of bothered by it and I didn't know what to do. But when I learned about releasing and I applied this stuff to my life, I was able to let go of that inner like trauma, that inner issue inside of me. And then when those people would say that, I would just be like, oh, okay, cool. Anyways, and I would just move on. I'd be free from that. And I'd love for you to have that for yourself as well. So I, definitely recommend, learning more about releasing, whether it's from me or just whatever, researching that kind of work is really powerful.
Yeah. And, I'll bring this into Ehret's work. We talk about vitality equals power minus obstruction. That is the formula to life. This principle can be applied to more than just the physical reality. This can also be applied to the mental reality and the spiritual reality. So we have people that are physically constipated, but you can rest assured if you're physically constipated, you are also what? Mentally constipated and spiritually constipated. 100%. So part of we have different tools to eliminate on different levels. We got our mucusless diet, and I like to teach people and encourage people to investigate and find a release technique for them, because especially when you start fasting seriously and you start going through the mucusless diet in this path, all those old emotions start to come up because you're releasing the blockages. So this stuff starts coming up where you all of a sudden you find yourself crying about, like, you don't know why you started crying, or you're remembering a loved one. You thought you had grieved. You thought you had got that out of your system. And all of a sudden you're remembering them. You're feeling that pain. There's ways that you can acknowledge that pain, not push it down, because most of us, if you don't, the reason what we're talking about is natural, and there's some people that release naturally. So, and I know there's some people that are listening to this right now that's like, man, that have a bias against even talking about a tech, like any kind of technique that might be considered in the mental health realm. And I'm saying there's a little empathy that you need to have, because not everybody does it naturally. Not everybody know. And even the people that might do it naturally, they don't do it fully, and they don't have control. And the kind of power that you can get to when you actually learn some of this stuff and combine it with the Mucusless diet. Because for me, that was a game changer. And I got a video where I talk about the Sedona method you can find on my channel. But whatever you get into, whatever releasing method, but I used to sit and release for, an hour, a couple like hours straight. And it was basically just a meditation process where I was bringing up anxieties, thinking about things that were causing me to self-sabotage, to not get, prevent me from getting over these humps. And whether it was fasting, I release on fasting, release on social anxieties and worrying about what people thought of me. I released on a lot of those stuff as I was getting into the Mucusless diet. And so for me, I had already made releasing just a part of my life. So it wasn't like some weird other thing. But it's really just, it's such a natural kind of process, but it's not always taught great. I mean, I've seen some people in videos and stuff where they teach this stuff so mechanically, where it's like, yeah, I understand why people would be turned off by that. But, when you do it right and you start to combine it with the fasting and cleaning up your diet, and you really get a good cycle going, because it builds, you just build such great momentum within yourself.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I think one of the most powerful ways that those two, the two ideas here really collaborate is, what you were saying when you embark on the mucusless diet and you're cleaning your stuff out, like there's going to be those emotions triggered, right? It's going to be intense. And if you don't know how to deal with those emotions, like if you don't naturally aren't able to process that, and honestly, I don't think most people are. I think most people suppress that stuff, and it just creates more illness within them. But when you can actually deal with it and let it go, it'll prevent you from so much self-sabotage. Because if you don't believe you deserve, like if deep down you like hate yourself, right? And there's stuff in your past you don't even realize, and you're trying to heal your body, well, your subconscious isn't going to believe you deserve to feel good. And even though physiologically and on your health, you're doing a good job, maybe you stop following it, or you do a cheat day, and then you just cycle back and lose all that progress. Because in reality, you didn't deal with the mindset stuff. So you got to do both, right? And doing just the mindset stuff without the diet is ridiculous too. And the metaphor I use is like trying to put, Mountain Dew in a sports car. It's just not going to work, right? Because you got to have a good system, a good frame, like your mindset, but you also got to be, pumping in good inputs, like good food, good stuff. Otherwise, your car is not going to go anywhere. You're not going to make any progress. So it's so important to have both. And I find that people who are so narrow-minded and black and white thinking rather than holistic, they don't get the full, power that you can when you really step into powerful transformation. And, Spira and I can both, from our own personal experience, speak a lot on that. When we didn't have one or the other, we were just not nearly as far along as we are today. So just really important to look at it from all angles. 100%.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to, so that I don't have the book right in my hand, I should just go get it. But I'm going to bring up if I can find it.
And that's so sorry. So yeah. I just want to comment on Rachel Ann's comment. You said, "You gentlemen are leading us to healing." You're so sweet, Rachel. Thank you. See what else we got. Some other comments here. Yeah. Talking about guilt, shame, fear, anger, unforgiveness. Oh my goodness. If people only knew how much stuff they're holding inside of them. In terms of mucoid plaque and negative associations from their past and all those negative emotions. It's unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. So you're pulling up
So I wanna read about mental. So kind of look at what Ehret said on mental treatments, because this is an area where, of all the things where people like, if you could ask Ehret something, what would you ask? I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Ehret about mental illness and mental health, and go deeper than where he was at, because there wasn't a lot of focus on it there. I agree with what he said, but I would have liked to seen more, take it further. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff where I think this section can be improperly analyzed or interpreted. So let me even bring this share going here.
There we go.
And so this is the section critique of other healing modalities, physical treatments. Then we get the mental treatments, and I gotta say it cannot be denied. This is in my way. Let me turn this around. You're not going to be able to see this probably, but it cannot be denied that the condition of the mind has an influence on every kind of disease. It is proven that fear, sorrows, and worries have a bad influence, not only on the heart and nerves, but on the circulation, digestion, etc. Let me make sure. And psychotherapy, so he brings it up. Psychotherapy, mental and divine healing, Christian Science have this one great advantage. They save the unfortunate sick from the injuries of drugs. On the other hand, I cannot grant them too much credit, for while they are harmless in a certain sense, they have a tendency, consciously or unconsciously, to keep people in complete darkness as to what disease really is. And I agree with this. And these things were kind of in its infancy in terms of psychotherapy.
Yeah.
It was in its infancy.
When was this written? What year?
Around 1920.
Okay. Yeah. So that was, long time ago. Right.
And, but the point he's making here, so he continues, we only know exactly what disease is. It cannot agree. Oh, wait. We who know exactly what disease is cannot agree with a teaching that endeavors to make sick people believe they can be healed by a miracle or a forced imagination, that they are not sick at all, even though they are actually dying that very minute. In a farcical, not to say pitiful, to prey on the creator for a miraculous healing, rejecting and disregarding real divine foods, the fruits of paradise, the bread of heaven, and instead stuff your stomach 3 times a day with harmful prepared foods manufactured by humans for commercial purposes and never designed by the creator to be humans' food at all. So the point that I think it's important to understand, we got to make a separation, in my opinion, between, he's comparing and putting in psychotherapy right along with the faith healing,
which is
Christian Science stuff,
entirely different.
So that's problematic. And when you can understand when done properly, and we so much further beyond this old psychotherapy, because now you got the neurolinguistic programming and this kind of stuff. But when it works properly, you are removing obstruction. It's about the removal of obstruction, and you're opening yourself up and releasing and letting go, being in a state of release. That goes hand in hand with the vitality equals power minus obstruction principle.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
And,
and that's the beauty, is that, they work together. And once again, Ehret, while there's so much, amazing information, it's just from the time he grew up, he had his heyday, I guess, or the time he was living, really. He was, in the 20s, right? So we have a way different understanding of how the mind works on a psychological level, on a physical level, even like in terms of like quantum physics and neuroplasticity, the way neurons work. We didn't understand any of that back in the 20s. We didn't know about NLP. There's so much that we have learned since in terms of mental health, that when we can apply the best stuff from that, the stuff that gets results, the stuff that really changes people's lives, and we apply it with some of this, some of the best health advice, those two together are incredible powerhouses. That's when the rapid transformations occur. People have these miraculous, going from completely overweight and full of chronic illnesses to being, absolutely happy, fulfilled, and, in the best shape of their life, even if they're older. This stuff happens but it's difficult to do things like that when you don't put it all together.
Yeah. So the part that I definitely, totally agree with Ehret, like we can't just be talking about one and not the other. And so I agree. It's like you can deal with some symptoms and you can help people and you can even transform their life with the one, but it's not the full thing. It's not dealing with the entire potential of where we need to go as a species. Mm-hmm. And so that real healing, because you can deal, there's people that you can go and release and mentally feel better, but physically, those laws are those laws, you're going to be dealing with, no matter what they say, because some of them will still say, well, no, it's still mental. You can, it's like, nah, man, there's some, there's a cause and effect that's at play.
And there's like certain plateaus too. Like you can only get so high in terms of like your ability to thrive and your level of energy, right? When you just focus on one or the other. But you literally, like, you will hit these walls. Like I was kind of in that in terms of like working on my mind. Like I've spent countless hours and tons of time working on my mindset, my mind and everything. But I still I've felt myself hitting plateaus. And then once I focus on my health, I feel myself like kind of breaking through that, that invisible trap door, or whatever you might call it. And just kind of bursting out into the clouds. And it's a beautiful transcendence and transformation. I think we could all use some.
Yeah. I like this. Yeah, it is rather difficult to believe in mental healing at all. Again, Nick had brought up an interesting talking about the way that they used to talk about it back in the 1920s. The old psychotherapy model. And I'm not into, like there's there's kinds of problems, the Freud, and you can.
I think honestly, a lot of unpopular opinion maybe, but I think psychotherapy for the most part is all like nonsense. I've gone to so many therapists and have gotten zero results. But when I really learned some of the newer concepts and the stuff I now teach my clients, it's how I was able to heal from very intense traumas. Like, just to get vulnerable with you guys, because vulnerability is real strength. Like I lost, when I was 10 years old, my brother of 13, he tragically died right in front of me. Right. And so I had that, and as well as some, abusive, I had an abusive stepmom, and these things kind of compiled on top of each other. And I was in a really bad way mentally, and learning this stuff has freed me in unbelievable ways. And, if if you are struggling with, some mental issues or like trauma from your family, no matter how big or small, learning that stuff as well as doing your diet, it's going to be paramount towards you getting to where you want to be in terms of, your well-being, your happiness, your energy, right? Your ability to just feel good in your own body, right? I think that's like a divine right that we all share. Like we all deserve to feel good. We all deserve to, to live our lives without having to worry all the time. So again, like, it's really about combining the two. We could say it 100 million ways, but
it's here's our brother here. You can get as deep as you want. It's all about clean that ass.
Clean that ass.
Hashtag clean that ass 2021. And
hey, I'm on my way, brother. I'm gonna be doing my first enema ever in a couple of days. So I'm hearing you, man. I'm on the path.
And So that's the thing. I mean, we got a lot of work to do as humans, and there's definitely a lot of therapy that has to take place, and it's going through this path, it's going through this process. And we always say it's not easy, it's not a walk in the park. because you're gonna have to you have to learn who you really are. I mean, that's really what this path has shown me. Is it forced me to get really in tune and in touch with all aspects of who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly, be honest with myself. And a lot of people in this society, you are trained to do the exact opposite, to be somebody else and to get as far away from who you are as you can, and to don't contemplate yourself or anything. As long as if you're tied into your media, you're messing around on your phone, watching TV, watching your movies, you don't have any time. They occupy your consciousness and your time so much that you don't have time to look within and get acquainted with who you are. It's hard to do that when you're watching, I don't know, what's something popular that's on now that people watch or whatever, something stupid, some show when you're watching it, you don't have time to get in and really feel like, how do you really feel? That's what this society is really built on, is, that entertainment factor, taking you out. The word entertainment means to, where is it? Where'd it go? It basically means to be, to lose focus, or to not lose focus, but to take your mind off of something, to divert your attention, from whatever it is from life, really. You divert your attention. We're all in it. I have my little entertainment I check out, but I'm always analyzing. I kind of have a practice of constant contemplation and analyzation, with whatever I'm looking at. And so, and I encourage other people to check that out, because you can learn so much by thinking, by really contemplating and thinking and analyzing stuff for yourself, without, read a book. You might read a book that give you a jump start or something to think about, but it's really about you, about going through that process of deep thought. And there's so many revelations that you get through the contemplation, by going through that process. But you can't do that when you're constipated and you got all this slime up in you, and you're, trying to find out who's on American Idol tonight and all that kind of stuff. And so, or if you're, wrapped up in watching, what's this politician, I hate that politician, but I love that one. It gets you there, where you getting plugged into this fantasy, and really, like, you really think that's real. You think that's real, don't you? You think all this stuff, and like, oh man, I love that guy, it's so great, and that politician needs to go to jail. And this is like, man, they got you, man. They got you hook, line, and sinker. And then that's how you get into then. Oh well, now get your mask, put your mask on, and do that, and just don't breathe. Don't be free.
Don't get sunshine. That's very dangerous.
Don't get too much sun. Oh yeah,
too much fresh air.
Oh yeah, too much fresh air.
That's dangerous. Very dangerous. Fresh air. Stay away.
Yeah.
Hugs are out. Hugs,
oh yeah, don't
never,
touch.
No more.
Wait, let's measure. Are we 6 feet? We're
I left my meter stick at home. I usually always bring it with me, just in case somebody's getting too up close to my business. Close,
right? Like, but sir, please back up.
Yeah.
And it's silly out here, but that's the thing. I mean,
you got to find some way to have joy in the insanity, right? Otherwise, you'll just get caught up in it yourself.
Yeah. It's just it's nuttyville out here, but it is what it is. I mean, it's the logical conclusion of the lives that have been led and the diets that have been eaten. We are living in that reality, and so we shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be, definitely don't be discouraged. Just be like, this makes sense to me. That you get that far away from nature, then this is what it's gonna look like. As we like to say, this is what it looks like when you lose. And we lost. And so now it's time to clean up. It's time to turn, the game is over. Let's clean it up and then move on to the next thing, because this thing is ridiculous. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. You got any last thoughts and words for the brothers and sisters out there?
I mean, honestly, I think just go out there and just enjoy life the best you can. Like, just to put it simply, like, it's one thing to try to, do everything right and, be perfect with every, diet or every, way you go about life. But at the end of the day, life is limited. We never know when our time is going to be up. And I just want to be a message of just enjoy yourself, whatever that means to you, kind of off related, but I just felt like sharing that. And yeah, thank you so much for having me, Professor Spira. Also, a little teaser for you people, a little something to whet your palate and get you a little bit excited. Is Professor and Spira and I had just recorded a collaboration series for some YouTube videos coming up for you, all about a lot of the stuff we just talked about today. So if this was entertaining to you, just you wait for the videos coming out and get ready to see those in your inbox coming very soon. And if you want to follow me, if that's something that you would like to do, one of the best places to find me is on Instagram, Oliver_Lynch_. That's Oliver_Lynch_. It's been a blessing having all of you on here. And and thank you again, Spira, for spreading the good word.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being on here. And yeah, we had some fun today. Got into some good videos. So that's going to be posting up soon. And it looks like we got a last minute question. So about fruit and dental health, I got a video. If you go on YouTube and search for teeth, there's a couple of videos I've done where I talk about my thoughts on dental health. I'll make a new video. In fact, I'm gonna be making some new videos here soon. And so I'm gonna put that on my list where I'm gonna do a new teeth video. It might even be a recent one where I brought it up, I think, honestly. So if you go to but just in short, without getting in a lot of detail, I'm a fan of naturopathic dentistry. I'm not anti. I'm not like I'm pro clean your teeth. And I'm into oil pulling. I like that. Do I think that oil pulling can miraculously reverse everything? Maybe in a couple cases, but not likely. So you don't have to be into that. But overall, you want to take care of your teeth. Stay away from the fluoride, and this is my opinion. Stay away from all that kind of stuff, the chemicals. And I cannot believe they still put mercury in people's mouth. I mean, that should have been illegal back in like 1862. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Wait, what?
Mercury fillings.
Oh,
yeah, mercury fillings.
God.
Toxic stuff. And I've worked with a number of people that had mercury fillings, and you got to be real careful in terms of how you deal with your transition when you have those and when you take them out. When you have them removed, then you really generally you don't want to be too aggressive at that point. You want to actually be eating mucus lean, and because when them poisons start coming into your system, you just gotta be careful. So stay away from that. If you do have to me, it makes sense if there's a spot in the dentin or the enamel is starting to get where it's kind of irreversible, then deal with it. Get it out, put some porcelain in there. Makes sense to me. Like I said, there's gonna be some people that are like, no, you gotta just oil pull, it'll reverse it, and that's like way. Like I said, you can try, but you definitely don't want to get in a situation where you get infected, or you get you start getting these like the pus and all that stuff down there on the roots and stuff. You don't want to get all that. So but the one thing I will say though is when you are fasting or in a fruit situation, And if you go through an elimination where the lymphatic system up here, you can kind of get puffy. And if you're going through an elimination up there, then wait, let your body cycle through that, because if you go to especially a regular dentist, they'll want to actually take your teeth out. Just all your body is doing is just going through an elimination, and that's a place where there's some lymphatic fluids is going to start going through. You get these acids going through. Just go through that process. What ends up happening, your gums grab back a hold of your teeth again, and everything's fine after some time. But I'll do a dedicated video on that and kind of get into some real teeth discussion and analysis. But yeah, keep them clean to get that oxygen going. Keep I do floss. I do all that. So yeah. So all right. Well, again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And yeah, it's been a good time here. So yeah, go down below. You can click the link. We'll definitely give this video a share and a like. And the links are down below. If you don't have the Mucusless Diet Healing System in your library yet, then you definitely need to get a hold of that. And you can get all of the books in one big bundle for one very reasonable price. That down below, you click the link. You can get some free downloads. All that stuff is down below, so you can check that out. But so enjoyed it. Just kind of just out of nowhere, like let's do a live stream, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. I had some pretty good views on here for not promoting it or nothing, So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next time, peace.
Thanks,
love,
everybody.
and breath.
Bye.